So why don't you go ahead and start for all of us and tell us about your characters for Hemlock Grove.
Why do I have to go first?
You want him to describe your character?
Yeah, I do actually.
Aren't you tired of men always going first? Previously on Battlestar Galactica. Go, honey.
I'm actually a traditional kind of girl, you know. I play Dr. Chasseur. She's a doctor of predator ethology, which is sort of a fancy dog catcher, and she comes in to hunt and track what they believe is a wild animal. She starts asking too many questions and kind of just annoys the hell out of everyone for most of the show. Particularly
Art imitates life.
Sheriff Sworn. He loves me. He hates me. He loves me.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's basically how the characters go between the two of us.
And what about you, Mr. Sheriff?
I am Sheriff Tom Sworn, and I am sort of the, I guess, the real man of the show, in many more ways than one. Everybody else has sort of a supernatural something to them, whereas I'm just a regular guy who's a cop of a small town where really, really weird things start happening. And I liken it unto someone holding the strings of 1,000 kites in a hurricane. And things just start going horribly awry, and he's tasked with figuring out just what the frack is going on.
Nice.
So, see how I crossed that?
I did. I saw that.
So you're saying you have no special powers, but you do have special powers?
I wouldn't say that I did.
Coming
no.
April 19th.
Are you allowed
Check
to
out
tell us?
Chasseur's special
Find
powers.
out. She
Well, some of us
She does have
watched
secrets.
some episodes.
How
You've
did you
watched
get
more-
episodes? I haven't watched episodes.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, I can't tell you till April 19th.
Who do you know?
Hey, sounds like it's a standoff then, isn't it? All right? You don't tell us anything, we won't tell you anything.
This man plays poker. I wouldn't mess with him. You have an eyelash there, sweetheart.
Make a wish.
Didn't come true.
Season two.
Chasseur definitely has her secrets and she has her mysteries, but as Aaron describes Sheriff Sworn as the everyman, I feel like I'm the one who asks the questions that the audience would be asking. Why is this happening? Where does that go?
Yeah,
Who
you really
you?
are the audience. You're the audience eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the window into the outsider coming in and going, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
And the answers are not satisfactory.
Never satisfactory.
And then you become a pest.
And then I'm just get really under everybody's skin.
What's your reaction when you learned that you'd get to work with some former co-stars?
He hated it.
Did no such thing.
Sure.
Well, on Battlestar, Kandyse and I we didn't have any scenes.
No.
Oh, yeah.
We had one scene and we didn't speak or interact with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But on set, Kandyse and I was closer to Kandyse than it was to anybody else in the cast. In between setups and takes and scenes, we would get together, she'd come over to my trailer and we'd watch Family Guy and giggle our way senseless. Yeah. And then they'd come and they wouldn't even knock on her door after a little while. They just come straight, is Kandyse in there? Of course she is. Send her on her way. Yeah, everybody thought we were having an affair. But we
really
weren't.
just watching
we were just
Family
watching
Guy.
Family Guy. We really honestly were.
And Arrested Development.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
not saying a word to each other.
No.
But I think that's what we appreciated about one another is that we could sit in comfortable... And yes, we could have conversations about whatever.
For the most part, we didn't.
But for the most part, we didn't. There was a great friendship and ease between us. So
Yep. We're very similar people. So this show was cool because we actually got to look at each other.
No.
I used to love you. Yeah, it was great being on this show because we actually finally got to interact and hang out and be at work together. Yeah, and it was fun.
Yeah. And
Interesting.
and be the sort of
The friends who get to act
people.
together.
Yeah.
What I noticed, are your two characters are now basically working throughout trying to solve this mystery for the rest of the season? Is that what's going on?
Well, I'm investigating. The sheriff is investigating the killing.
The killing, yeah.
And she is brought in to help investigate, but not
Who's the goofy sidekick?
by me. I'm my own goofy sidekick.
No, he has. He has two goofy sides.
I have, I have some. There's some
Yes.
deputies, and they're rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. That's their names: rumbling, bumbling, and stumbling. They're just walking.
Almost literally.
They're walking boobs, but it's fun and it's good. So yeah, we're in concert. We're trying to figure it out, but we're coming at it from two completely different angles. She's coming at it from. Well, I don't want to speak for you, but I'm coming at it from a traditional police investigatory sort of position, whereas she's coming at it from, I just think it's a bear, or it's a this, or it's a human, or it's a something, whereas she...
I'm open to greater possibilities. I don't let it on right away necessarily, but yeah, I'm the one who believes that it might be something else, but I'm not willing to say what.
So it's like an X-Files type of thing.
Yeah.
Yes, I am Scully to her Mulder.
I'm Mulder?
That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
It's a new show, right here.
I'm an incredibly hot redhead.
And I'm I won't say it.
Yeah. You're a guy who sits in his trailer all day and plays porn video games.
Now, hold on a second.
Well, art imitates life.
Hey.
Is Family Guy a good way to unwind after working on such a dark show?
Yes.
Battlescar. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, very bad. Internal scarring. Yeah, it's a pretty dark show, and it was every day was. For my character in particular, somebody had just died, was dying in his arms, or was about to die, and so there was it's a lot. It was a heavy show, and Family Guy certainly lifted me out of the doldrum of that and Arrested Development, and then we could quote. All day long, and drive the crew crazy because we'd just be walking around going, "My cat's breath smells like cat food." Simpsons, but still, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Or, ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Sorry.
No, you have to do it 7 times, otherwise it's not funny. It's funny, then it's not funny, and then it comes back.
Oh, but when they transcribe, that's going to be annoying.
It'll be a whole page.
There you go.
It'll be a whole page of genius.
So what inspired you guys to do this show, especially one that's on Netflix, as opposed to like a network or anything?
Inspired. We got hired. We're actors. Come on,
Why?
give us a break.
It's called horror.
They call us. We,
I'm an
show
actor.
up.
I'll rephrase this question. What attracted you to
There
this
you go.
project?
The fact for me,
Me. No,
for me, it was her. No, I got hired first, so I didn't know you were coming.
that's true.
Mark Verheiden called me, and Mark Verheiden ran the writer's room for Battlestar for the last few years, and he said, I'm doing this show, I read the book, read the book. So I read the book. The book is so, I read a lot, and I go through a book every couple of days, and I just love this book, like having to learn how to sort of reread, learning how to read again, because it's just, the phrasing is so weird, Brian's phrasing. But for me, it was Mark asked me to come, and he said, I read the book and I saw Nobody But You for the sheriff, and the fact that it's Netflix, and you're getting in on the ground floor of how TV's about to be consumed and made, and all of that. I really see Battlestar as a foundation show and a ground floor show on how TV was grabbed even through iTunes. It brought over a whole new segment of people that weren't really sci-fi people before, and now they're sci-fi people because they realize that sci-fi isn't green and orange monsters and stuff. So for me, it was the ground floor of Netflix and being a part of something that is the future of TV. You absolutely can't say no. So that's why I did it. Sweetheart?
Thanks, Pookie. I was immediately attracted to Chasseur when I read the sides. I mean, it was a regular audition, but I immediately felt connected to her curiosity, to her tenacity. I felt like there was room for a sort of quirky interpretation of an investigator. I liked that she was described as diminutive in stature, and that there was this idea that she would constantly be underestimated and needing to prove herself, or not needing to, but inevitably doing so. I had fun in the audition. I set out to do things that I would never do, things that in classes we are taught not to do in auditions, like sit on the floor and play half the scene with your back to the camera and talk to imaginary animals, and all those things I think, got me the job. So I was excited that I was going to be working on a show that would give me allowance to express myself artistically in a different way, and really to play a character that I don't often get the opportunity to play.